and I am here with another Mixed Media Mayhem recipe for you guys today, and I want to thank Shannon Blinn for this amazing sketch that we have. I love how open to possibilities it really is. So I definitely wanted to let you guys know that I had it noted for Mixed Media Mayhem, and it's Janet's recipe. We've got texture paste, stickles or Nuvo, and pattern paper. So for my texture paste, I picked out Picket Fence's paper glaze. Now, I'm not really sure if I'm going to use this cornflower blue or this ocean poppy. The label was in the different spot. I don't like it when manufacturers do that. I also have this Stickles glitter gel, and it is in the color Galaxy. Now, you can't really read it, but I'm attempting to show it to you. I have my hard spatula that I plan on using it through a stencil. And then for my pattern paper, I have my background, which is this gorgeous wood grain I've been hoarding for quite a while. It is from Kaiser Craft, the Paradise Found collection. I'm not sure if it's still available or not. I know I've had this for quite a few years. And then I also have this one little scrap from Close to My Heart. Yeah, that's it for paper, you guys. I have 5 photos in this jumbled mess of stuff. I'm so discoordinated, you guys. It is unbelievable what I'm having a hard time getting my mojo back. And so, yeah, I have this banner border type of strip thing that I made a couple years ago from Scrapbook Addicts. I have these adorable little wormies. They are my favorite, you guys. And then I also have a bunch of other fishing icons and images and things like that from Scrapbook Addicts Etsy shop. So I've got fish on a string, a big large hook on a string, some wood rounds, this adorable little boat, and it has little fishies to go with it, and then a man sitting there, a silhouette fishing from the boat. I have 2 or 3. Well, I've got several little stickers and things like that left over from the Lakeside collection. I have 3 wood rounds that I'm still playing with, designing so I can put them in the shop, but I figured, you know what, they're still useful, so I'm going to try to put them on my layout. And then once I pick everything up, I'm going to move on. The stencil that I'm going to be using is from Echo Park, and it's just that little fishy stencil. It is adorable. I absolutely love it, and I'll be using it on this wood grain. All right, so once I get everything organized, I am going to cut off my branding strips. I have to pull out my big trimmer. I have to quit being lazy and pull out my big trimmer. I do have to say that it is ice cold today. Actually, I should say tonight, or at the night when I am doing this voiceover. So I've got a long sleeve shirt on and a little sweater on. Because I'm freezing. So if it changes, my arms go from having a dino sweatshirt on to, having a mint shirt on. It's not over days that took this, that I did this layout in. It is just me. I get hot, I get cold, or I worry about making a mess on my sleeves is basically what it is. All right, so I've got 3 photos of my son on the left and 2 photos of my husband on the right, and they are fishing at our camp spot. That is actually a river, not a lake. And the river was flowing a little faster than what they were expecting. But they say, and they being, weird people that we don't even know, it's like a myth, we think. But they say that if you fish upstream, you'll catch the fish coming down. And so my husband was giving it a shot, and then my son tried to give it a shot down farther where it wasn't so, the river wasn't so rushing. And then my son decided that he wanted to see if he could fish from the tree. So I'm catching him climbing the tree. But because he's wearing camo and he got up in the tree, you couldn't even see him. I was taking a picture of a tree. So they did not make it on this layout. All right, so my 2 main elements that I really wanted to put on this layout is the fishing goals, little banner title piece thing that I made a million years ago, and the little man in a boat. I definitely wanted to get that. Now, we aren't fishing in a boat. We're just fishing on the side of the stream. But I really wanted those two icons. Why? I don't know. Probably because it says here fishy fishy, which I think is adorable. It makes me laugh. And then I just wanted to scatter these little wormy guys all over the place. I absolutely love these things. And my husband really does love using live bait to go fishing. So I thought that was appropriate. But my wood fish did not match the fish that I have in Sarah's little kit. So I got rid of the wood fish, and yes, it ripped my paper. So I went ahead and I put my wood rounds, and the reason why I brought the wood rounds in is because that white circle that doesn't really look like a wood round, that is a wood round from Stampin' Up! A million years ago, and it had a hole in it, so I tied those two feathers, which also came in the same kit, so they kind of hung down. It's got nothing to do with feathers for the layout or anything. It was just a decoration that I made a while ago using that specific frame when I was making homemade embellishments. So I've got a mix of stuff going on here, to be honest. And I really enjoyed making my little banner piece. I just had no clue when I was going to use it. It is longer than 12 inches long because I just played, in all honesty. I didn't even pay attention to length, width, nothing. I just wanted to play. And so anywho, I did decide to span it across a 2-page layout, and this one was absolutely perfect because I was going to do 2 separate layouts, one for my son and one for my husband. And then I thought, you know what? They're doing the same thing at the same time, probably on the same day. So why would I make that 2 separate layouts? Anyways, and then I also got to use that really cool fishing vest. Now, my kids and my husband, they don't wear the fishing vests or anything like that. They don't have the little fishing basket. They have a tackle box, and that's about it. And their poles, we're kind of, rednecks. We don't have all the gear to go fishing. And so I really never knew when I was going to use these icons, but I thought it was perfect because I don't plan on using photo mats. Actually, I'm going to use my mixed media as my photo mats for these particular photos. So what I'm doing now that I've got everything all set up and situated and put where I want it ish, I'm going to draw a line around just my photos so I know where my photo mats, air quotes, are going to be. And then that is what I'm going to work on. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my stickles in Galaxy, and I am using the edge of my spatula to outline where I drew the pencil lines. Now, here in a few, you'll see me pick up the paper because I can't see, the pencil lines on the grain of wood. So I have to pick up my paper and shine it and get the shiny part of the pencil mark to show in my light so I know where to mark where to make my splashes, basically, is what I'm doing. I'm creating what looks like water behind my photos. I really wanted it to look like when I laid my photos down on this piece of wood, it hit a water bubble and it splashed out from underneath them. So that's what I'm going for. I don't really know if it works, but I like the effect, in all honesty. I really do. So, anywho, just going to go ahead and finish applying this. Now, I am applying it awfully heavily, if that's a word. So I do have to wait for it to dry. That is the worst words in the world. Wait for it to dry. Ugh, I don't like doing that. And it was definitely too wet for me to continue on while it was wet. There was no way. But I am going to apply my fish while it is wet because I did kind of want to take some of that glitter and smush it into the fish, if that makes sense. But I do have to clean the back of the stencil off every time because I do lay it down in the glitter, and then of course it gets on the back, and so I have to clean it off. And it doesn't even affect my fish, you guys. It was a waste of effort is what it was. But I still get my cute little fish, and I like how it looks. I am loving that blue on that wood grain. It is gorgeous. Okay, so now it's the next day because I'm impatient, and I set it off to the side, and I did something else and thought, you know what? You can wait on me now. Yes, that's how I treat my items and my papers. So I'm doing it the next day, and I love how my photos look when I place them in their little spots for photos. I just love this effect. Is it blue? Did I have any blue embellishments? Nope. But the water underneath my boat was blue. So it works, right? It totally worked for me. I do see an eyesore a little bit based off of the bottom of the waves from the boat just being straight flat. I wished I would have forethought to do something about that. But I didn't even notice it until after I had the whole layout put together. I honestly did not even consider it until like right now. Actually, when I was taking the photos, let's say it that way. So I am going to go through and put pop-ups on a few of the spots. And then I also have my little strip. And I was wondering if I needed to rip it in half lengthwise or rip it in half widthwise, depending on what I wanted to do. But I really wanted this strip to go on both sides. I didn't want it just behind the wood grain and a teeny tiny little bit. So I just really like the pops of red. And this is like a mix between red and brown. And so I really liked how it brought the red and brown together. I know I'm making stuff up because that's what I do. I'm a scrapbooker, I embellish. But I definitely did like this addition and what it adds to my layout. So I do have to flip it upside down just to get my lines lined up and where I want that plaid piece of paper. And it's just the perfect color. It is just the perfect addition to, like I said, bringing my reds and my browns, bringing the reason why I have all this red on my layout, other than the life preserver and my little red buoy on my vest. So, and of course my word fish on was red as well. So I really didn't need to add any more red, but I wanted to make it look like I did it on purpose. So I'm going to use some glue dots to glue my feathers down, and I kind of fiddle with them a little bit because I should have put the longer feather down first. I didn't realize how off center I was, but it works out in the end. It's super simple, super easy. And then I decide to add a little bit of splatters, but I only want to add them where I have the fish and my frames around my photos, because again, I want to have that effect of splashing water. So very briefly, whoa, did you read that? I have some Vibes Love Ocean number 9 from Shimmers. This is my favorite color other than the Wild Spruce Chase. They're just fabulous colors, you guys, from Shimmers. I love them to death. So I'm trying to not get this splatter on anything else. I just want it around the fishy and around my frames and make it look like I really splashed water around everything, because in all aspects of everything, this river was roaring. I mean, we were screaming at each other just to try to have a conversation, seriously. And then once you take 2 or 3 steps away from it, it's quiet and calm. But once you were right up next to it, it is just roaring. And I just really wanted that effect on my photos, or on my layouts, sorry, of having that roaring, splashing water going down past our campsite. And so anyways, I love the effect of the little splatters. This is my layout. It is very busy. It's got a lot of large icons used on it, but I'm glad to use them up, to be honest. I really am. And speaking of using it up, I want to do a little shameless plug going on here. Next month, expect to see all the things used up. That is my goal for next month, at least 3 times a week. I am going to be doing a cute little series with Janet Fritz over on Galaxy Girl Creations called Use Your Stuff. And it's that simple. Stop hoarding it. Get it out of its packaging. Do what you got to do to use the stuff. And we don't just mean embellishments. We don't just mean tools. We mean everything. Paper, plastic, whatever you choose to do, use the stuff. So anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly appreciate it. I'm so glad that I actually got to hop on a Mixed Media Mayhem. I'm sorry I've been absent for a couple days, but it's been total chaos here. But I've got a couple videos and then I'll be absent again until July. So I apologize. But life, it's life, right? My life is chaotic during the summer all the time. So anyways, thank you again. Be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem. All their links are down below. Shannon, thank you so much for this amazing sketch. I really had a blast with it. Also, too, be sure to check out the other 2 links down below for Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches, her Facebook group and her playlist. And go see what everyone else is doing with this sketch and all the other sketches for the month. All right, you guys, thank you so much, and I'll check y'all later. Bye.